Hi, my name is John Self, and this is the second video in the series for the new restaurant manager. This video is about how you really get promoted in a typical restaurant chain. So depending on the company, there are probably 2 to 12 assistant managers for every one general manager, and every assistant manager wants to be promoted. So your first goal is to break out of the pack of assistant managers by differentiating yourself. This is not just separating yourself from your fellow assistants. It is about separating yourself from all the other assistants. Assistant managers who are promoted have impressed their general manager as being focused and serious about work. Your restaurant probably does between $2 million and $15 million per year in sales. Every one of those dollars flows through the GM and the assistants at the unit level. That's why management wants management they can trust to do a good job today and a better job tomorrow. Now, your reputation begins the day you walk into the restaurant. It is vital that you establish a pattern of success starting that first day to build your personal credibility. Let's get a couple of things out of the way immediately, though. These aren't easy. Results count. Effort does not. Many new managers believe that by working long hours, coming in when they're not scheduled, coming in way before their shift, and staying late will be impressive. The truth is that it isn't. Effort does not make up for not meeting your budget or other responsibilities. Putting in all those hours does show effort and even strong effort, but if you're not getting the job done, so what? It's frustrating to get criticized after having put in a huge number of hours, sacrificed time with your family and friends to work all those long hours. But the bottom line is that if you're not meeting your budget or other responsibilities, just putting long hours doesn't change the fact that you're not meeting your budget. So when you're having problems, figure out what they are and put together a game plan. Ask for help. It's better to ask for help than continue struggling. This is smart management. Not asking for help is dumb management. Warning: before you ask for help, make sure that you have some kind of game plan so you can show your GM that you've put in effort instead of just taking the easy way and just asking for help. Number 2. You don't have to be the best at every position. You just need to know each position well enough that you could train someone how to do it, evaluate how they're doing, and fill in temporarily if needed. Speed is not as important as knowing the mechanics of each position. If you are a perfectionist, fight it. Your GM doesn't expect you to be as good as an employee who does it every single day. You've got to show that GM that you have put in the effort rather than just ask for help. Okay. Now the main point. The key person that controls your promotion from assistant manager is your very own general manager. The GM is the most important person in your world right now. The importance of this person cannot be overstated. This is the one person that you must impress, earn their confidence, and have in your corner. And here's why. Your GM's boss is the district manager or some other title. Unfortunately, your exposure to the district manager is very limited, but your GM probably has some form of daily contact along with regular personal visits to the restaurant. So when an opening for a GM position comes available, the DM or district managers will be asked to name assistant managers in their district who are ready to be promoted. So how does the district manager know who these assistant managers are? Yep, the GM. That means that most information about assistants comes from the general manager, both good and bad. Your GM can make you look really, really good or really, really bad. The good news is that GMs want to get their assistants promoted. When an assistant gets promoted, it's a big deal for a GM because it shows that the GM can develop managers. This is essential to have for the general managers before they can get promoted. So one of the key points here is that your employees are key. Once you're an assistant manager, you can't do it all yourself. This is tough. This is a shock usually for most new managers. For maybe the first time, you've got to rely on others, which is tough for new managers. You leave a world where being good at your job was up to you to a world where being good at your job means you are totally dependent on your employees to be successful. Not everyone makes this transition successfully. Management is not an easy, intuitive skill. It takes experience and patience, and not everyone likes to make hundreds of decisions every day. I remember going home after shifts and telling my wife that I didn't want to make any decisions. Movie? Great. Chicken or pasta? Yes. Promotable managers anticipate and prevent problems, not just put out fires. The average manager is reactive. They put out fires. They put out crises. The promotable manager prevents fires from happening in the first place. Too many managers are great at putting out fires, but not so great at preventing the fires in the first place. An example of proactive management is if you have an employee that is coughing, sneezing, and constantly blowing her nose or his nose, there's a good chance that employee will be calling in sick tomorrow. So why not ask the servers right then if anyone could work tomorrow? The servers are there, there's no panic, and you'll probably get someone to come in. Not only is this smart management, but this will also give you major points with your other managers for heading off a potentially tough situation the next day. Even if the employee doesn't call in sick, the other managers will totally appreciate what you did. So putting out the fires of crisis management does feel good. A problem appears and you solve it. How good is that? It does feel good to be the cavalry and ride in to save the town from burning. But what happens too often is that as you're saving the town from burning, the bank was robbed and your horse was stolen. Management job is to be proactive, anticipating and preventing, not just waiting until the problem bites you. Preventive managers have smooth shifts. Smooth shifts mean the preventive manager can accomplish more than the crisis manager. They have more time to do more and are doing more with a heck of a lot less stress. Another point is accept personal responsibility. Don't make excuses about anything. Don't blame anyone or anything else. If you screwed up, own it. If you just have to screw up, make sure it's a different screw up. Don't be defensive. If you're being criticized for something that you didn't do well, listen, learn, and don't do it again. This is just one time to just listen. In most cases, anything you say will come out wrong. Have a career plan. Getting promoted doesn't just happen. It's not fate. You have to take control of your own career. You're the one who has to make it happen. Don't rely on strictly the company's career plan for you. You need your own career plan. We'll have a video in the future about that too. If you don't, it's like being on a raft and letting the river take you wherever it wants instead of you having control over where you want to go. Do more than is expected. Duh, this sounds so obvious, but it doesn't always happen. Know the score. Most of us think we're pretty good. We have a very high perception of ourselves. But is it reality? If you've already had a performance evaluation, take a hard look at it. Work on the needs work section and do it consistently. Make sure your GM knows that you're working on it. If you haven't yet had an evaluation, ask to see the evaluation form. Wouldn't it be great to know what's on the test? Final thoughts. Do a great job every day. I've seen several assistant managers who would have gotten promoted, but they started doing their job on autopilot. They weren't doing a bad job, but not a great job either. Their performance dipped, and of course, that's when the promotion opportunity came. Be consistent every day because your GM notices. Managers who get promoted and managers who don't get promoted spend roughly the same amount of time in the restaurant. So if you're going to be there anyway, work hard, work smart, take your job seriously, and work towards specific goals. Trust me on this, it's much better to be promoted than not be promoted. We'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Thank you very much. Take care.